All right, we are now into week 5 of the 4-week curfew in Quebec. Some updates on the street about all of the situations. We're going to call these the COVID updates. COVID updates? It's a play on words. Okay, for those of you who have been watching my live streams on Sunday night, and for those of you who follow me on Twitter at the Viva Fry, you would know that a fellow YouTuber, Eric Hunley, had his entire channel nuked on Sunday, yesterday, during a live stream. Nuked. He was doing a live stream on some form of digital money, and he was offering benefits that were being given by the person he was interviewing, which is the CEO of a digital money wallet thingy app on the phone. His live stream went down midstream. The stream was taken off YouTube for allegedly violating the terms of service, and instantaneously his entire channel was terminated. All of his content gone, 15,000 subscribers gone, and needless to say, he was a little distressed. Now, a lot of people were jumping on the politics, corruption, it looks like you've had a little too much to think type thing on YouTube. I said this reeks of an algorithmic glitch. When someone gets the warning email, the takedown email, and the termination email all within the same minute, typically it's a glitch and not anything intentional. It's just a broken system, which YouTube unfortunately is at times. Update on that, Eric Hunley's channel has been restored. Some of the content is not yet fully uploaded or may not be re-uploaded, but his channel is back. It's great interview stuff. He interviews FBI agents, body language reading experts, lawyers from time to time. That's update number 1. By the way, for anyone who says I said I would not baby Winston, I'm not carrying him because I'm babying him. His feet got cold and it was time for me to carry him. Second update. Anybody watching last night's live stream with Robert Barnes? Robert Barnes at one point was talking about Robert F. Kennedy being nuked from social media, from Instagram, for certain posts he made regarding vaccines and other contentious issues that apparently the big tech overlords do not want the lowly hoi polloi discussing on social media. His Instagram channel with 1 million followers was also nuked. And Robert Barnes, in discussing what recourse Robert F. Kennedy Jr. might have, was saying he might have a recourse for defamation because Instagram says they took him down for spreading false information when he was only relying on CDC government-approved websites. And in his discussion, in his expose, Robert Barnes said that even the government websites admit that 650 people have died from taking the COVID vaccine. Now, because I read virtually every comment on virtually every video, which makes for a tremendous amount of responsibility and hair pulling, I do it. Someone raised an interesting point, and a valid point, that the CDC did not actually confirm that 650 people died from the COVID vaccine. Rather, what the CDC reported on the website was that 1,170 people reported deaths in what they refer to as the VAERS. It's the Vaccine Adverse Effects Reporting System, something along those lines. So when people have adverse effects, they report it in. So apparently 1,170 vaccine adverse effect reporting system reports were filed of deaths. The CDC apparently investigated and drew no definitive conclusions between the deaths and the vaccines. So while the CDC did in fact report that 1,170 deaths were reported through the VAERS system, there was no definitive correlation between the vaccine and those deaths. That is, of the 41 plus million people who have received the vaccine. That is the other second update. The third update in this COVID update, and I gotta get finishing because my battery's about to go dead. François Legault has been on social media apparently complaining about, what do they call it? He called them radical activists, radical anti-free speech activists, especially on campuses who are forcing people into self-censorship. And he says that we should respect freedom of speech. And lo and behold, I agree with François Legault. I agree with François Legault right now. And it's an amazing thing. Even as much as I criticize him, I agree that he is right, that we are under attack from anti-free speech advocates, activists, whatever you want to call them, who are forcing people like myself and like others into self-censorship for fear of whatever it is, the repercussions of expressing oneself in an era that does not seem to be kind to freedom of expression. Just ask Gina Carano. I agree with François Legault on this. So surely François Legault will protect my right, despite all those who might criticize me, to criticize François Legault and his response to the COVID crisis. So when I get on social media and I criticize François Legault for spending $13 million a month on COVID awareness, François Legault protects my right to publicly disagree with him, and I agree with François Legault. When I get on social media and express my discontent with these unscientific curfews, because even Horatio Arruda confirmed that there is no scientific basis to justify or explain away the science behind them or any correlation to stopping the spread. When I criticize him, François Legault protects my right to do so. When I say that François Legault and his government's response to this COVID crisis, in my humble opinion, in the long run will do far more damage than the virus itself, François Legault protects my right to do so, and I agree with François Legault. So, with that said, those are the updates. The other things on the back burners. The international flight restrictions, forced quarantine, will be coming into effect. You want to get down? Will be coming into effect, I believe it's going to be within the week. So don't anybody think that that is not actually happening. When you read stories about people being whisked off to undisclosed location, government-approved quarantine facilities, it is actually happening. It's not fake news. It is not hyperbole. It is not lore. It is reality in Canada now. When you hear about having to spend potentially $2,000 to stay in a government-approved hotel upon arrival pending your negative results, if you're lucky enough to get negative results, it is not exaggeration. It is actual policy in Canada. The other day, let me just put this thing down. The other day I did an interview with John Carpe from the JCCF, which is the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms. And he confirmed that there will be lawsuits filed against the federal government for these measures. He is a constitutional lawyer, and he has never seen these types of infringements on what were otherwise regarded as absolutely inalienable, untouchable, basic fundamental rights and liberties that could not be violated. And, people who are saying, we're in a state of emergency, so anything goes. Whether or not I agree with you, states of emergency or states of emergency do not last a year. If it lasts a year, by definition, it is no longer a state of emergency. It might just be the new status quo, and in which case, the state of emergency justification for infringing civil liberties no longer flies a year into it. My humble opinion, François Legault, now I know, has confirmed he respects my ability to express my opinion. Those are the updates, people. It's going to be a long road to get back what has been lost over the last year, if it can happen. John Carpe has multiple lawsuits pending. One day, the government will be in a court of law to explain what they did and to justify what they did. And they may win, they may lose. But at the very least, the people will have gotten the debate, the discussion, the evidence or the lack thereof that they are entitled to, as opposed to constantly renewed, rolling emergency measures that are now entering their second year. All right, whenever I see a car come by after curfew, I get nervous, but this is not a police car. It's a pizza car, because you're not allowed outdoors to walk with your kids, to play hockey, but you can walk your dog and you can deliver pizza. With that said, people, take care of yourselves. Don't lose faith. Stay the course. Remember, this too shall pass. And to quote Harold and Kumar, I'm going to mess it up. I messed it up. It's something about the universe unfolding as it should. For anybody who's seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Peace out. Be well, everybody. Bye.